Welcome anime lovers. We all know those anime series that have characters that are just way too overpowered. Characters that can take people out with one single hit. Characters that can fly and even become gods themselves if they aren't one already, seemingly out of nowhere. They're just way too powerful for their own good. Today's episode of Anitube, we're counting down the anime series who have so much strength, mentally and/or physically, that it's just ridiculous, but hides it for a while. 15 years have passed since the war between humans and demons began. Dissatisfied with their slow advance into the demon realm, the hero abandons his companions to quickly forge ahead towards the Demon Queen's castle. Upon his arrival at the royal abode, the hero makes a startling discovery. Not only is the Demon Queen a woman of unparalleled beauty, but she also seeks the hero's help. Confused by this unexpected turn of events, the hero refuses to ally himself with his enemy, claiming that the war the demons have waged is tearing the southern nations apart. However, the Demon Queen rebuts, arguing that the war has not only united humanity, but has also brought them wealth and prosperity, providing evidence to support her claims. Furthermore, she explains that if the war were to end, the supplies sent by the central nations in aid to the southern nations would cease, leaving hundreds of thousands to starve. Fortunately, she offers the hero a way to end the war, while bringing hope not only to the southern nations, but also to the rest of the world, though she will need his assistance to make this a reality. Finally convinced, the hero agrees to join his now former enemy in her quest. Vowing to stay together through sickness and health, they set off for the human world. In a fantasy version of Europe, a war between enemy countries is brewing. One of these countries, Jdead, has its 7 regions ruled by war maidens, known as Vanitas. Equipped with powerful dragon-carved weapons, the Leonora Elan Voltaria, one of the Vanitas, launches an invasion against their neighboring rival country of Brune. Eventually, Tigrevernmid Tigerborn, a young archer and an earl for Brune's region of Alsace, has his entire army decimated at Elan's hands. In a strange twist of events, Elan spares Tiger and gives him the order, "Become mine." What could be the meaning behind this new alliance? Adapted from the light novel written by Tsukasa Kawaguchi, Maiden no Ode Vanitas is an epic adventure filled with complex war tactics and beautiful women. Trapped in a multinational conflict, Tiger and Elan are swept up in a war filled with dark secrets, conspiracies, and corruption. Kazuma Yagami is a user of Fuijutsu, the ability to control the wind. He returns to his old home, the noble Kannagi household, after being banished 4 years ago for his inability to control fire and his subsequent defeat in a duel at the hands of his younger cousin, Ayano Kannagi. Returning after such a brutal exile already gives rise to many conflicts, but to make matters worse, several Kannagi family members have recently been murdered with Fuijutsu. This leads the Kannagi family, including the hot-headed Ayano, to suspect Kazuma as the culprit. Now, Kazuma must not only clear his name, but also aid the family he shares a mutual hatred with, in order to discover the true identity of the killer. Midgar, all-girl academy, would have been notable just for the action of accepting its first and only male student, Yu Umanano. But Midgar stands out for much more than that. It's a school exclusive to a group of girls known as Ds. Each of them have extremely powerful abilities in generating dark matter and manipulating it into powerful weaponry. The Ds didn't exist 25 years ago and only appeared after a number of mysterious, destructive monsters known as dragons started appearing around the world. Strangely, just as suddenly as they appeared, they vanished. In their destructive wake, some girls started being born with symbols on their bodies and powers similar in nature to those wielded by the dragons themselves. Now the Ds attend this school, hoping to harness and utilize their powers against the dragons. Yu is their latest member and is extraordinary for being the only known male D in existence. Now he must forge relationships with the girls around him, including his long-separated sister who attends the school as well, and work with them to investigate and eliminate the threat of the powerful dragons. Dreaming of changing the world for good, Akuto Sai transfers to Constant Magic Academy, where he befriends a virtuous ninja clan member, Junko Hattori. On the way to the academy, they vow to make the world a better place together. However, the situation suddenly takes a turn for the worse. Upon his arrival, it is prophesied that he will become the Demon King. As word of his destiny spreads, the school begins to fear him, and Junko's trust in him falters. While Akuto is determined to not let his predicted future control his fate, it seems as though everything he says and does only serve to reinforce the fact that he is destined to be the Demon King. Moreover, he is surrounded by a harem of beautiful girls who each have their own plans for him, ranging from bringing him to justice to simply showering him with love. With his newly awakened powers, Akuto must cope with his constantly growing list of misfortune and fight to prove that his fate is not set in stone. Decades into the future, humanity is under siege by an alien race known as the Novas. These inhuman beings leave devastation in their wake whenever they appear, with the efforts to stave them off becoming known as Nova Clashes. Young women known as Pandoras and young men known as Limiters are implanted with stigmata to give them superhuman powers and are trained in military academies, where they must learn to work together if humanity is to have a chance of surviving. Freezing tells the story of Kazuya Aoi as he sets out for his first day at the West Genetics Military Academy, right when a battle royale is being undertaken by the Pandoras. It is here that he mistakes Satellizer L. Bridget, a powerful Pandora known as the Untouchable Queen, as his deceased sister, and embraces her. Though he costs her the match, she finds that his touch doesn't drive her away and decides to take him as her limiter. The only question is whether or not their partnership can survive the machinations of their upperclassmen and the impending battle with the Novas. Alpha Stigma are known to be eyes that can analyze all types of magic. However, they are more infamously known as cursed eyes that can only bring destruction and death to others. Reiner Lute, a talented mage and also an Alpha Stigma bearer, was once a student of the Roland Empire's Magician Academy, an elite school dedicated to training magicians for military purposes. However, after many of his classmates died in a war, he makes an oath to make the nation a more orderly and peaceful place, with fellow survivor and best friend, Sienna Steele. Now that Sion is the king of Roland, he orders Reiner to search for useful relics that will aid the nation. Together with Ferris Eris, a beautiful and highly skilled swordswoman, Reiner goes on a journey to search for relics of legendary heroes from the past and also uncover the secrets behind his cursed eyes. In the world of Maburoho, everyone is born with the ability to use magic and are thus labeled magicians. However, the magical ability of each person is not equal. The number of times you can use magic determines the amount of respect you receive, and since one's magical power is determined at birth by traits and genetics, those who have a bloodline stemming from famous magicians are highly sought after. Having the lowest magic count in Aoi Academy, Kazuki Shikamori is looked down upon by his classmates and seen as a nearly worthless magician. However, his bloodline consists of many great magicians throughout the ages, meaning that while he may not be a great magician, his offspring could be. This leads to him being sought after by 3 different young women. Yuna Miyama, a transfer student who declares herself his wife upon arrival, Rin Kamishiro, a prideful swordswoman of a traditional family who wants to kill him so she will be free to pursue her own desires, and Kariko Kazetsubatu, a member of an influential family who bluntly tries to seduce him for his genes. Now he has to deal with not only the jealousy of all the guys in his school, but also various women chasing after him. About 30 years prior to the start of Hagyur no Aesthetica, a number of selected people from Earth were summoned to other worlds, with only about half of them being able to return. One of the young people chosen was Akatsuki Asawa, who was sent to Alazard to defeat the Dark Lord Garius, which he did, before returning to his original world. Some of the successful chosen ones brought back little trinkets as souvenirs. Akatsuki, on the other hand, went a different route. He brought back the defeated Dark Lord's daughter, Mew, who is now posing as his long-lost little sister. Upon returning, Akatsuki and Mew are forced to join a special school called Babel, where they must train to one day master the powers they gained in Alazard, in hopes that they will one day be able to serve mankind. Will Akatsuki and Mew be able to keep her true identity a secret, or will their plan to live peaceful lives together go up in flames? In the dawn of the 21st century, magic, long thought to be folklore and fairy tales, has become a systematized technology and is taught as a technical skill. In First High School, the institution for magicians, students are segregated into two groups based on their entrance exam scores. Blooms, those who receive high scores, are assigned to the first course, while Weeds are reserve students assigned to the second course. Mahouka Kauku no Redise follows the siblings, Tatsuya and Miyuki Shiba, who are enrolled in First High School. Upon taking the exam, the prodigious Miyuki is placed in the first course, while Tatsuya is relegated to the second course. Though his practical test scores and status as a weed show him to be magically inept, he possesses extraordinary technical knowledge, physical combat capabilities, and unique magic techniques, making Tatsuya the irregular at a magical high school. So what do you think of this list? Their name, and which is your favorite anime series where the main character is overpowered but hide it for a while? Comment below and let us know. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you want to see more anime related content. I'll see you next time here in AniTube.